James Harden makes his Philly debut, has a heck of a night. I'm here to break it down. Gonna try to get into more NBA for you guys going forward. Let's go. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard here, Ballard Sports Media, coming at you with a quick game recap in the NBA. James Harden making his big time show and big time debut overall. Holy cow, did he ball out? Which I don't know what people expected. I think that he's the missing piece that the Sixers need. Not that they haven't really had pieces. They have, obviously. Joel Embiid, we know all about it. But it seems like him and Harden are getting along really well. James Harden. Now, Joel Embiid, by the way, still the lead scorer. He's still the go-to guy. He's still the main guy for the Sixers. 133 to 102, the final score. Not a whole lot of great defense by the Sixers, but you got to give the Minnesota Timberwolves some props. They have had some amazing offense this year and have just been balling out themselves. So, I mean, it's kind of one of those where even though the Sixers didn't play up to the standard and what they needed to do defensively, Minnesota has those guys like Patrick Beverly. You got Carl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, D'Angelo Russell, right? You have those guys. Nas Reed, a couple guys on the bench that come in every now and then, right? James Harden made this game, though. How did they win it? Was it just James Harden having 27 points, 12 assists, and 8 rebounds? I'm telling you, he had an amazing game. Joel Embiid, I think, is still the guy for Philadelphia, though. I think it's kind of close, though, but I think he's got some competition for Mr. Philadelphia or whatever you want to call him. I still think he's the guy, though. He had 34 points, 10 of 18. I put field goal. I meant field goals. 11 of 13 on his free throws, though. Overall, just did an outstanding job. Both of these guys did. But of course, being his debut, whether he had the lead scoring for the team or not, they want to talk about he could have not scored at all. They would have talked about it. He could have scored only a free throw. They would have talked about it. But they want to talk about James Harden's debut, right? Everything that he did for the Rockets, and everything he did okay at the Thunder. He was the third overall pick of the 2009 draft. He was the fourth highest 3-point percentage in NBA history for someone under 21 years of age. During the '09 season in his first year, I mean, he just balled out. He had like a .375 or whatever it was for his field goal percentage. And he just seems like he gets better and better, right? He's not really much of a defensive player. I mean, he can get the ball from you, but you better bet you need defense if you want to defend James Harden. And unfortunately for Minnesota, they did not have that tonight. James Harden is fast, electric, and knows how to shoot the three very, very well. And he did that very well for the Sixers tonight. Again, not going to make it all about James Harden tonight, but he does a good job, right? Joel Embiid, I think, is still the guy to watch for Philadelphia, but it's a dynamic duo now. Joel Embiid led the team tonight, 10 of 18 field goals, 11 of 13 on his free throws, and 34 points, right? Now, overall, I don't think Minnesota's a good team, right? You know, they are 18 and 12 at home, so it's been a tough place to go and win. But the Sixers are good on the road. They're 36 and 23 now. Minnesota is 32 and 29. Overall, 42 rebounds for Philly, 41 for Minnesota. So that was kind of a coin flip there. Minnesota could not shoot the three. They had the hardest time scoring. They had 16 turnovers in this game. Philadelphia won this game just like they normally do. Minnesota had D'Angelo Russell, and that was practically it tonight. I mean, Carl Anthony Towns, he led that team in points. You got Jared Vanderbilt, had 8 rebounds, 5 on defense, 3 on offense, and you had Anthony Edwards, who led in assists. James Harden, by the way, Joel Embiid had the leader in points and rebounds for the Sixers. James Harden in assists. Um, should we look at this like, okay, the fact that he wasn't the main guy tonight and it was still Embiid's show, should we let that, should we take that away from Harden? I don't think so. I think he's a great player regardless. And he has to expect he's got a good heart. He's one of the better players in the NBA. That's a team player, a team leader, wants to just go out there and play. I don't think he's a selfish guy. I like James Harden. He's amazing. 27 points tonight, 12 assists, 8 rebounds, as I mentioned. And his first win, this is a blowout. This is 31 points right here, folks. It was never in doubt. I mean, they outscored Minnesota in every way, right? There was not a single quarter where they scored 30 or more, Minnesota. It was 34-25 at the end of the first. Then Philly went on a 31-24 run, right, going into half. So you look at that. That's what, 49 points for Minnesota, and 60. So what was it, 65-49 or something like that? 27-25. And ultimately, obviously, 41 points in that fourth quarter was just incredible, right? The field goal percentage, 51 for the Sixers, 41 for the Minnesota. It's not necessarily that Minnesota didn't have the offense, right? They had some good offense. They had an 84 free throw. They had a better field goal or free throw percentage. They just couldn't hit the three, and their field goal percentage wasn't as good, right? They had a block. They had 4 steals, 23 assists. Sixers had 30 assists, 10 steals, 16 turnovers for Minnesota, 12 for Philly, 32 in the paint for the Sixers, 48 in the paint for Minnesota. Overall, and Minnesota had foul trouble, right? So they couldn't shoot the three, and they had some technical fouls or whatever that kind of cost them, right? Minnesota could have very much won this game. They have had one of their better seasons in quite some time, honestly. When you look at it, overall, you look at what they've done this year. They're third in their division. Still some time to kind of turn that around, but they got Karl Anthony Towns with 9.7 rebounds per game. He's really their go-to guy. I think more so they're a defensive team. I just think that they've had a couple issues offensively, Minnesota has. But let's not take away from what James Harden, Joel Embiid, and company did for the Sixers tonight. Overall, an amazing game for them, and you got to give them props. Again, as I mentioned at the beginning, I want to try to get back to doing some NBA. I love basketball. I love the NBA. I don't want to just do college sports on here. Let's get back to the NFL. Let's get to MLB. And let's get back into some NBA, especially with the season coming to a close soon in May. So these next few months, let's talk about playoff runs, where teams stand, any news. Hopefully maybe I can find some time to go live for some games. But again, nothing's a guarantee. But I love you guys, and I do love basketball. I played a little bit as a kid growing up, and I wasn't good at it. Don't get it twisted, but I enjoy it. So let's get back into some NBA talk, definitely on here. But starting out here tonight, I'm going to try to do what I can to recap some games. But recapping again, 133-102, 76ers. James Harden making his big debut for Philadelphia. Again, he was not the lead scorer, right? He helped an assist. Well, that was it. Joel Embiid had more rebounds even. Does that make Embiid a better player than Harden? I don't think one guy's better than another. I think they're both really just as talented. They're both game leaders. They go out there on the court. They give it everything they got, and they both are very motivated and very well coached. It seems like they get along very well too. Everyone has really enjoyed, at least from what I've seen on social media, no one's ripping on James Harden. And Sixers fans, from what I understand, love having him there. Everyone loves having him there. He's a class act. James Harden is really full of class and character. He is, and I think he's got a bright future with Philadelphia. I think he can be good anywhere he goes. He can shoot the ball well, great offensive player, very motivated, very disciplined. And I think you saw part of that tonight. And this was not a scrub team that they played. I mean, like I said, Minnesota is 32-29. They're 18-12. That's a team that can try to close the season out very well and be a postseason team. So overall, um, this wasn't a fluke. This was a tough road test for them against Minnesota, and they pulled it out. Philly's just a better team than Minnesota anyway, but even still, they could have they very much could have lost this game if they slowed down on offense, but they got it going early. They didn't take their foot off the gas. They didn't hit the brake pedal or anything. And overall, just got to give them props. But James Harden in his debut with the victory for the 76ers and doing very well. But again, Joel Embiid still the guy to lead the team in points with 34. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. He's got an amazing plan for you. Keep your head up. Please like, comment, and subscribe right here to Ballard Sports Media for more sports content. And until next time, folks, Ballard Sports Media checking out. Love y'all. God bless. And as always, folks, roll tide. See you.